Hello, this is part 10. Do you see how every time I keep forgetting? It's because I get so involved in my Tez Talks that I forget what part number we're up to. Part 10 though, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this is from Haley. How do you navigate through feeling jealous, envious, or unsure when you compare yourself to others? How do I find more love, confidence, and gratefulness? I think I've answered these, but it's a good question because it's something that everybody deals with. There have been so many times when I've looked at other actresses or other people in my industry and been like, oh my God, they got that role. They're doing so well. Their life looks like this. You know, I want that role. How come I didn't get to go up for that role? Things like that. None of it serves you. Everyone has their own journey and their own path. And also, it's all relative. I mean, it is all relative. We all have our own challenges and obstacles that we face no matter what. And I remember saying to my manager when I first started, when does it get easier? Does it get easier when you're of the Reese Witherspoon level and you're getting offers things left, right, and center? You never have to audition. Is that when you feel like, yes, I'm successful, I've done it? And he said to me, no, because even Reese has to figure out the right roles to take and the right path to go down. And she has to make sure she's working on things that get seen by a lot of people or have critical acclaim or that she's enjoying, and that she has all these choices too. It doesn't mean it's easier because she doesn't have to audition for things. And it's really interesting. I think before I started out, I would look at someone in my position now being like, oh, they have it. That's everything. That's all I want. And now I'm here and I don't have to audition nearly as much. I do get offered more things. It feels like it's coming a lot easier to me in my career. But even then, it's like choosing the right projects and making sure you're doing quality work and working with good people and getting to be a part of a collaborative process and not just being a puppet in a movie. And it's always going to be somewhat of a challenge. And you're always going to look at other people's lives and think, oh, that looks easy, that looks fun. They're shiny, bright things, and that's what I want for my life. They must be so happy because they have this. And it's just not the case. I mean, it really isn't. The happiest people I know are often people who really go without material wealth. They are enlightened beings who can appreciate the richness of just themselves and the air in their lungs and their body. I mean, it's a beautiful place to be in when you can appreciate the fact that you are a healthy individual and there are people in your life that you love and there are people that love you, and that's enough. Like, that's enough. Anything else is a bonus. So it's a hard place to get into, I think, having that perspective, but it's absolutely imperative in terms of our own mental well-being, because comparing ourselves to other people is only detrimental. It only hurts us. And whenever I have a feeling of jealousy come up, I'll send love to that person and say, I'm really happy for them. I hope they're really happy and really enjoying that. That seems like that would be really fun. And it always like drops that weight of jealousy or envy, and it feels really good. It feels really content, and it helps me to look at my own life. And if that is something that I truly aspire to be or have an experience like that, I can put energy into manifesting that, and then letting it go and just appreciating my life. And the universe will give you and shower you with gifts, the gifts that you really need. Sometimes we think that we need something in our lives and we need something completely different. And so being present and open-minded and conscious and mindful when we're living in a place like that, I think we get to free ourselves from being in a toxic state of envy and jealousy and a state of comparison. yeah, that like low lying energetical space is really damaging, and it causes a lot of suffering. And if you really want these amazing things, you want these beautiful opportunities, and you want to excel at life, it's like you just have to start with your core, which is having that self-love and that acceptance and saying you're enough the way you are. That's their journey. Everyone's life looks different. Make your journey special. And then guess what? You probably don't even realize, but there are probably so many other people who are envious of your life or jealous of what you're doing. And it is all stemmed from insecurity. All of it, all the jealousy, envy, it actually speaks to your own personal state of unrest. So once you can delve into that and start to heal that, you'll notice that you'll stop comparing yourself to other people. And we're all equal, guys. It's all an equal playing field. There's no one's up, no one's down, no one's on a pedestal. We're just all individuals on this journey of life, and we're trying our very best. Everyone's journey is unique and special, and that's what's really beautiful. Okay, so from Veronica, what kinds of feelings did you experience when you started acting? What were challenges you overcame? What was some advice to someone, or can you give some advice to someone new to it? Yeah, acting felt pretty foreign to me when I first did it. I didn't really know what I was doing. I remember my first movie, I got nominated for an Australian Film Institute award, and I remember thinking it was a joke. I was like, I can't believe they nominated me for that. Like, I'm so bad in this movie. I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember I was like really pushing it, really acting. It didn't feel natural. I had to use tear stick to get my eyes to cry in 2:37. And it just felt like unnatural, but I enjoyed it. There was something about it that like really allowed me to express myself, and it was really liberating. But I was like, wow, I'm fooling people. I'm really pretending that I can act. And then as the years rolled on, I started learning a little bit more about the craft of acting. I realized that truly what people respond to is the essence of an individual and putting that on screen. And so I started to embrace what my unique essence was. And that's when my work got stronger, because I could weave that into each character that I had. And it's what fused a character that I don't know and myself, it fused those things together to become a character that actually feels authentic. But it took me a long time to be able to do that. And I remember I felt like I always had to show so much. I'd have to like show my emotion. But in real life, we just have emotions. We just feel a certain way without actually having to push anything. And once I stopped overacting and just sat in a naturalistic place, my personality started to shine through, and so did my essence and my spirit. And I realized that when I was younger, a lot of the reason I was getting cast wasn't because I was some brilliant actress. It was because I would really allow my essence to come through. And there was something about it that people enjoyed. But as soon as the camera would roll, I would try and get rid of that spirit and play a character. And I got away with it for quite a few years. And then I started to really understand the concept of acting. I relinquished my control eventually and just started to live and breathe these characters. And I guess my way of doing it is sort of meshing myself into who they are and making a hybrid version of the two. And it's really served me. So I hope that's useful, and I just hope that makes sense. But do less, be you, I would say. Really be you and celebrate you, and just act less, do less, and think like, how would a normal person say this? But it was challenging, and it still really brings up a lot of emotions for me. But I also feel the therapeutic nature of acting. I think it's healing, and it's therapy. It's really special. You can like explore the deepest depths of yourself, and that's really cool. I don't know that many other jobs where you get to do that. So it's one of the reasons why I love doing what I do. Okay. From Lindsay, what are 10 coping mechanisms or activities you use in times of sadness, stress, anger in order to stay zen? 10, okay. 1, I take a bath, and in the bath I take a personal inventory where I check in with myself and really eradicate the feelings of negativity, and I send them love and healing. I usually do it in the bath because it's my own private time where there's no one else running around being like, "Mommy, mommy," or "Teresa." It's my husband, Teresa. So I do that, have a bath, do my personal inventory. Meditation, absolutely. Any type of meditation. And you don't even have to worry about clearing your mind. Just sit and observe silence and observe where your mind goes, and then bring it back, and then watch it go again and bring it back without judgment. It's a beautiful thing. I go on a hike. That's the third thing. I hike a lot. I get out in nature. I feel fresh air. It also gives me time to think. I don't go with a girlfriend. I usually go on my own, or I take my dog. And that's the other thing. Recharging using animals is one of the most beautiful things ever. Lying on the floor and seeing the simplicity of a dog just wanting to shower love on you and just wanting to have affection and be close to you is really beautiful, and it really puts things in perspective. And so spending time with my animals is something that I find really beneficial. Other coping mechanisms is writing it down, journaling. Number 5, journaling, like writing thoughts, feelings, processing, reading them over and over. And then sometimes, if it feels right, burning the page, burning it. Once you've verbal diarrhea'd everything out, burning it and making peace with it and starting afresh. I find that really good too. Number 6, having a deep, connected conversation with an individual that you know really loves you and cares for you and accepts you. So for me, that's my husband. I can get in deep with him. I have a cry with him. I chat with him. We go through everything. And then finally, I start to release the sadness. And it's such a beautiful way of doing that. I'd say 7, cry. Big cry. There are only 2 ways that we can fully recharge our bodies and release energy, which is by crying. That's like a physical act of releasing energy, and also by orgasm. So I do that. I cry and I get down to the darkest spot ever, and then it's released, and I can start to feel myself shifting back into the light, and I find that really amazing. Number 8, treat my body lovingly by eating good food. So I know that my food is my medicine, and if I'm feeling sad, oftentimes it's also related to really poor eating choices. So I'll hit myself with green juice, I'll eat something super nutrient dense, and it really helps. Okay, number 9, for me, yoga. The art of doing something mindful and also physical, being in a position and holding a position and like feeling my body shaking under pressure is amazing. I love it, and it brings you to a sudden stillness and appreciation, and it's another really good way to release. And number 10, coping mechanism, just allowing the sadness to be there, not judging it, just allowing it to be and letting it wash over my body and sitting there and really observing it. It's a really beautiful way of letting it go too. Yeah. I hope that was helpful.